Hello everybody, this is Craig of 9 Volt Games, and I just stubbed my toe really bad. It fucking hurts, so if you see any weird facial expressions, that's what's going on, because apparently your small toes are for nothing but stubbing. But today, I am going to be reviewing Doom. Yes, I switched it around. You're wondering why it's all crumply. I'll get right into that. But first off, I said I was going to do a couple shout-outs. I'd like to do a shout-out to a guy I work with. His name is Daniel. He has a Twitch channel, and he predominantly plays, you know, your Call of Duties and your Battlefields. It's actually weird. I've been working with the guy for a while and just found out he does Twitch. And so check him out. He's actually quite legit in Battlefield, so I've seen. And then I want everybody to check out my friend Tasia's channel. She does a lot of GTA stuff. I was actually supposed to be making videos with her Gamerholics, but we all know how that turned out. But yeah, their links are below. Check them out. Search the Tasia's channel. She wants to get above 100 subs. I told her you guys would do it. Help me out. All right. So, on to Doom. Now, if you want gameplay of Doom with me talking about it, that was in my previous video. So this is obviously going to be gameplay free, because where I would do gameplay and where I thought it was, you know, the most exciting is full of spoilers. And the story is so thin that any spoiler would just, I don't know. It's Doom. You know, I actually was playing through it, and in my last video I said this, and then after I beat it, and I came to the realization that it really just ended the way that the old Dooms would have ended. And so I wasn't too upset with it when I actually beat it. By the way, this one's called Heaven or Hells, and it's quite fantastic. It's smooth. Not like the asshole kind I was drinking last time I did a video. Here, put that there. They don't pay me, so whatever. Now I'm going to be honest about Doom. It's an awesome game. And when I was playing it, I see a lot of people on here talking about it, and one person in particular who's actually really good about, you know, being, you know, respectful on my channel. They actually said that they prefer Doom 3. And while I was playing the game, story-wise, I was kind of like, you know, I wish this was Doom 3. And I put it on too much of a pedestal in comparison it, it's upstairs, comparing it to Wolfenstein, The New Order. Now, what Wolfenstein New Order did, I was pumped for Wolfenstein, and I think we all bought Wolfenstein for the same thing initially, was that we get the beta for this. And Wolfenstein ended up being an epic single-player adventure, and the story was really good, considering the framework of it, which was, like, no story at all. In the original Wolfenstein, it was something that was truly amazing in terms of story. They helped build character off of something that was just, you know, a face for a first-person shooter. So when it came to Doom, and, you know, the remake of Doom, or a reboot of the series, the story wasn't there. And then I kind of picked at it, and I was a little upset. I was like, you know, I was really expecting a really good story for the single player. And then I thought about it, I was like, Wolfenstein had to have a good story. It had to have everything packed in as much as possible in single player. They needed to check off all the boxes because there was no multiplayer. And Doom has multiplayer, so it got me scared up to launch, because I was like, oh no, I think they're going to put all their eggs in the fucking multiplayer basket, because that's the trend of games. And in actuality, I owned myself. I was wrong. The single player in this is fucking intense, and it is amazing. And it's actually what I would have expected from Doom. And like I said, Doom 3 had the better story. But if you look at every Doom, if you pull back and look at every Doom, Doom 3 is the odd man out. And that's not necessarily bad at all. I absolutely love Doom 3. But Doom 3, if you were to stack Doom 1, Doom 2, and this Doom together, they're the same fucking game. Like, it feels like the same gameplay. This, in spirit, is more Doom than Doom 3. And just go back and play the old ones, then play this one. It's really like they just took our childhood and just, you know, for the most part, didn't change the look of many demons. They changed the imps down, and they kind of made them just like throwaway characters, which is one thing I didn't like. But really, it felt like the same game I played when I was a kid, and it just had amazing graphics, and it was a lot more intense, and the music was on point. Everything. It was awesome. When you got into a firefight, yes, firefights are repetitive, and I saw that one complaint coming from a lot of places. They were like, Doom's quite repetitive. You're going to have the same firefights over and over. Show me a fucking first-person shooter that's not repetitive. Show me a first-person shooter that's not the same fucking fight over and over, because that's Halo. That's the Call of Duties that I've played. Even the ones that I like that took place in World War II. You were really just fighting 10 fucking enemies over and over again. That's every first-person shooter. Even a game like fucking Far Cry. how many enemy types are there, really? So whenever you get into a firefight, you're in the same fucking thing. And considering this is open, where you can go and, you know, you can explore a little bit to find secrets, because this game is full of fucking secrets. It's still a linear walk down a hallway game. And I still think they packed in a lot for it, and the fact that every fight is intense, and it's not scary in the sense like Doom was scary, where it had set pieces that would pop out at you, and it was made intentionally to scare you. Like you'd be walking down a hallway and something would crawl out of a vent. Well, every single time you play it, that same thing crawls out of a vent. So, I mean, having scares, like pop scares like that come is great. That's a different kind of scary, though. I'm glad that this went back to it. And what's even more impressive about Doom, ladies and gentlemen, about this Doom, if you watch the credits and you know your Doom trivia, you'll see that there's only one familiar name from the old Dooms to this one, and that's Tom Willits. And he's just producer, which means he didn't really do shit on it. The original id team, they're gone. Like Carmack, he's gone. He went out and did Oculus shit. He's making rockets with his son. He's done. Like, this was put in the hands of pretty much new people, and it was under Bethesda. And what Bethesda did is they made sure it had the quality of the old games. And Doom had the fucking quality. And I'm speaking solely for single player. I didn't even play multiplayer yet. This is a single player review. It's fantastic. It got my heart racing. Every time I was in a fight, I felt like I was going to die. The bosses were on point. The fact that the Cyber Demon was essentially the tutorial boss, and you'll know what I'm talking about for anybody who's beaten it. Hellguards, am I right? Those were the worst. It was like, cool, you learned how to fight one, fight two at a time. Boom. That shit was intense. But it was a different kind of scary, and it's the scary that I came to love about Doom. You felt like you were going to die all the time. I felt like it was like, this was it. Every time I was in a firefight, this was it. I felt like I was going to fucking die. I was going to have to do this part 4 or 5 times over again. And then magically you pull out and you feel accomplishment. That could have been taken multiple ways, but no, you finish it and then you're like, holy shit, that was intense. And then you think you're clear and you see that little checkpoint thing and you think that you're safe, and then boom, right into the next one. I did have some complaints about it. I felt that the checkpoint, and I don't even know why I'm complaining about this, because in the old Dooms, if you died in the middle of the level, unless you saved recently, you're going back to the beginning of the level without any weapons. So I don't know why I'm complaining about this, but I am. It's because, you know, checkpoints have become a staple in all FPS games, pretty much all games. When you go back to it, they were set weird from each other. Like, you had an intense fucking firefight for 5 minutes to 5 to 10 minutes. If you lost, and the last enemy, and this happened to me a few times, where, like, you know you're at the end and you die, you have to go back and do that whole shit over again. Which is fine, because that's like that's as punishing as it gets for an FPS now, unless you play this on the hardest difficulty. But when you're going to fight something like the Cyber Demon, because this is spoiler free, you already know you're going to fight the Cyber Demon. It's Doom. They just come in Doom. Every Doom. Cyber Demon. They come in Doom. I have a lot of double entendres here. Keep up. Like when you're fighting the Cyber Demon, you fight him once, and then there's a second phase. It gives you a checkpoint after the first phase. If you're going to go for the ultimate punishment like that, you should really, if you die in the Cyber Demon, go back to the first phase. That's traditionally how bosses are. So I didn't actually like it. Like, when I died after the first phase, I got frustrated because I was like, shit, I'm going to have to fight this thing over again. And then when it was in the second phase, I was kind of disappointed. I was like, what kind of punishment is that? Now that I know I can die, I can just start right here. I can change up my tactics. I don't really have to put that much effort towards it. And I don't know. That's a weird thing to complain about, but that's a complaint. The other one I had is they have these emblems at the top with challenges and how well you're doing and mixing it up in firefights. And, you know, when you fill them up, those little emblems, you know you're near the end of the level. And at first I didn't like it because I was like, all right, I know exactly how much I have left in this level. Judging by how much I filled up here and how much I filled up here, I know how much I have left. And I did not like that at first because I was like, it ruins the pacing. You know you're near the end. I want to be able to play the game and not have some kind of thing like that telling me it's near the end. And then you fill up one of those, you're like, I'm at the end. Boss fight. I like that. So that is a complaint in the fact that I'm more focused. I started focusing more on like, oh, you know, I'm near the end because of all these indicators than the fact that I'm like immersed in a level and I should know that I'm near the end because, you know, there's 100 things of ammo and health in front of me. So that was another thing I had to complain about. Good things I like about it is updating the suit, upgrading the suit, upgrading your weapons. It wasn't overwhelming. It didn't like, you know, try and be too much in your face, but it lets you experiment with the weapons because traditionally when I play an FPS game, I get in a trap of I find 2 weapons that I really like no matter what FPS it is, and I stick with those. This gave you a reason to branch out and try every weapon, whether you like it or not. And I do like that they took the BFG and they made it a treat weapon, as I'll say. Same with the chainsaw. They're treat weapons and they're last resorts. So I do like that they did that. You don't have to keep going through and conserving ammo between your plasma rifle and your BFG because that's what it used to be. Except for Doom 3, but you know what I'm talking about in the old Dooms. So I did like that. They were like treat weapons and they were godlike weapons, but they were spaced out enough where it didn't ruin the game for you, where you just were instantly were God. So the length was fantastic. I didn't fuck around with Snap Map for a little while. So like I'll say that I played the main campaign for about 12 hours, and then I did 3 hours in Snap Map. I'm actually making my own maps in it. So Snap Map is an awesome thing because you can make objective based levels. You don't have to make like multiplayer deathmatch levels. So that branching out into the single player, there's more content that's community driven with an already awesome campaign. So your single player, you know, effort in this game is covered. It's great. And, you know, just as a package, I did start to get worried about Doom closer to launch because I was like, I'm putting too much hype in it. It's not made by the original people. I'm aware of this. It could be a very different game. And it's not. It's on point. They take the classic levels, which you can unlock. They take the classic level music, and then they, like, death metal. And when you're doing a firefight, you hear these classic tunes, you know, remastered and done in, you know, a metal overture. And it's fucking amazing. And then right when you're done with the fight, it gives you the cue, and it goes back to regular music. And when there's a fight coming your way, and when the fight gets tougher, the music starts ramping up. So I think they did a fantastic job with the music. You can hear some of the classic sounds in the game with doorways and certain weapons, and sometimes you can hear a snarl from an enemy that's like an old game. So it's nice to have that stuff peppered in, but not have it where it's kind of like they just took all of Doom and they just gave it a facelift. They did add their own elements to it and they tweaked it, but they left enough in there Easter egg wise for us older players to appreciate something and still have something new. For FPSs, for me, this set the bar for intensity because it wasn't all set pieces, and that was awesome to me. Like, you know, when because I said I did enjoy, you know, the older Call of Duties, and I liked Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare was an awesome game, and it was intense. It was intense because of the set pieces. This one's intense when you're playing because the fear of dying is there all the time. There's no health packs. Your health does not recharge. You need to get into the fray, and basically the hand-to-hand gets you the best health. Finishing somebody off with a glory kill gets you the most health. So, I mean, you need to be in it to win it. But yes. Oh, why is this so crumply? This is why. Doom took me a little while to beat. My son dumped a coffee. My youngest son dumped a coffee into the top of my Xbox One fan. And it spit it out the sides, thank God, because it didn't ruin my Xbox One. Thank you guys for watching. See you on Doom. Check out the channels below. Thank you.